Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Shadow and Sun Show. Today is our first dragon of the month of this year.
That is right. And we thought we'd start it off with a bang, starting with Origon, the Denouncer from Archon Studios. This was the almost $1 million dragon from the Kickstarter 2 that we were lucky enough to get, even though we didn't actually meet the Kickstarter stretch goal of $1 million. And we were all quite grateful for getting this. And it is actually the easiest dragon I've had to put together out of all of the dragons.
Even though he put too much of it together, this leg specifically.
Yeah.
Which I actually wouldn't have really cared about if he didn't forget to put this leg on.
Yeah, I left one leg off so that it would be easier to get to, but I should have left both the back legs. But this dragon was incredibly easy to put together. It actually only took me an hour to cut him off from the sprue and assemble him, glue him together. I thought it was actually going to take longer because it usually does. And I don't know if that's because I've put together a bunch of dragons over the last year or if this one really was easier. I think it really was easier.
Maybe, but...
It really didn't have... Some of the dragons have extra, parts when it comes to the claws and the heads and the horns and things like that. But this one really didn't. I think it had 2 extra fingers I had to work on. And what color are you working with today?
Gold.
Is actually Dragon Gold from Reaper Paints. We actually have...
this might actually be too watery.
Did you shake it up real good?
I thought I did.
He's also picked out Old Gold.
Actually, you did.
Loot Gold. Brown. Shining Silver.
Yes, in fact, actually, brown and shiny silver were the only ones I personally picked out, or specifically picked out.
Bright Gold.
The rest of them are just all the other golds we have.
Yeah, pretty much. But those are the colors he will be using. And probably something different for the base, of course. We'll use black and some other colors, for that. And while he's doing that, I thought I'd break out the Snowcat. As you can see, I've already started painting it. Yellow for our good friend Armstrong. And then I'll be using a light blue. I think that's sky blue. And that's for you, Nathan. And as you can see, I've done a little painting already, a little bit of things here, and there's some black and things like that. And so we'll both have something to do tonight. I also made the windows, and while they're not perfect when it comes to the miter joints here,
I think they might be clogged or something. Because, some came out, but, there's no way that it's empty.
No. That's good. Just needed a little cleaning off. And when I'm working with a tank, usually I'll use spray paint, but because of the time of year and things like that, I'm going to be using paint brushes. And I found that these straight edge brushes are really the best when you're doing long, flat surfaces. If you can't use an airbrush or a rattle can, these, and make sure the paint is somewhat watered down so that it's better to do multiple layers than to make clumpy mistakes. And anywhere there are mistakes, if I make any mistakes, which I'm sure there will be, I will be covering it up. Like right here, you can't really see it, but there's some super glue that just I didn't notice, and it's just going to make the paint job look imperfect. We'll just cover that up with Valhalla Blizzard from Citadel, because this is going to be a Snowcat. It is going to have some weathering and some snow effects on it. So one of the great things about that particular technical paint is its ability to cover up mistakes, especially on terrain or vehicles. So with that said, I'm going to pour out some sky blue, but I'm going to water this down quite a bit because I'd rather do 3 or 4 glaze-like coats than one really thick and streaky paint job. And I will just be adding a lot of water to it until I get more or less the right consistency. And since it's a Viejo, it's already really thin. Is that better? Hey.
Yes. I was thinking.
Oh, you were thinking, okay.
So I actually wasn't exactly sure what you were saying. It was better too.
The paint, is it?
Well,
I could see that whatever came out first was definitely not mixed properly.
Oh yeah, I can see that definitely, but on the palette, but actually painting it feels the same.
Oh, okay.
I mean, yes, if I were to have used this, I would have needed 2 coats, but one of the major problems I see with this is just it's kind of difficult to tell where the different types of
scales are.
Yeah.
I see the middle chest plates and I see the regular scales.
Like, it's easy once you're actually looking at them, but when it's not as pronounced as other ones are.
And we're definitely going to need an overhead light here.
Maybe.
Yeah. I can already see a lot of shadows and there should be light behind us. Not optimal lighting conditions in here. That was one of the only things we couldn't really get taken care of in the studio here, but we're working on it. We have a new mic stand, a new camera stand coming in, and a few other things that we're trying to get to just finish off the studio. But as you can see, we've been working at it pretty steadily all weekend.
Yeah.
Hope you guys had a wonderful weekend. Little guy has to go back to school tomorrow, so he's not in the best mood. But like I was telling him, he's only got about 3.5 months left with some holidays and a little bit of spring break in between then. And before you know it, it'll be summer vacation again. And
Yeah, I realized that time actually seems to go by pretty fast, it seems, especially recently. But
and I hope you guys like these color choices. The little guy actually is not real thrilled with these color choices.
It's not the actual... Well, the fact that you're using a lighter blue is better, but there's a darker blue there, so...
Yeah.
It just, when I think of yellow and blue, I don't think of anything cold or Arctic related. Most people, I assume, think of aquatic things.
Yeah.
Don't actually know why, but...
Well, when I think of yellow, I don't actually think of school buses. I think of the old, I think it was Voyage to the Bottom of the Sea. There was a TV show, I think that's what it was called, that I used to watch as a kid. They had a little yellow submarine inside their submarine, and I actually had the model kit of it. And I always think of that when I think of yellow, not school buses or other things. But this is for you guys out there in TV land. We asked you what colors you recommended, and these are the color choices you came up with. And to be honest, I'm glad it's not going to be just all blue or all yellow. That would have... Personally, I wanted to paint it red.
I didn't.
Just to be honest. Yeah, he definitely didn't want it to be red. And that's because every snowcat I saw on the internet was red. Every single one of them.
That's actually probably the reason I don't want it.
Yeah.
Well, that's not the reason I
thought
it, but that...
Believe it or not, red's one of his favorite colors.
But I didn't want it to be red.
What color did you want it?
Anything but red.
Okay. I was actually thinking, believe it or not, orange. just something, if it's a rescue vehicle or an emergency type vehicle, then it wants to be visible, or the people who own it want it to be visible. I don't think it's a sentient snowcat, although that would be interesting. He did say that the front looks like a face.
But I think everything looks like a face, so.
And I'm probably only going to get one coat of blue on here and let it dry thoroughly before I go for another watered down coat. I think I kind of like this better than the red tank we did last year.
Well, yeah, because the tank we did last year was just little more than a repaint.
Well, it had quite a bit of gribblies on it, but yes, it was...
Yes, but they didn't change its shape in any way.
Didn't I raise it up a bit on the turret?
That's not really enough.
Oh, okay.
You need to do more than just make one part of it slightly higher up. Because that barely changes the shape.
Chain off. So you're looking forward to seeing all your friends that you didn't see over vacation?
Yeah. I mean... Oh, wait. Oh, God. Wait. Is there a mistake bush?
There's mistake water.
Okay, that's good enough.
At least he learned the good habits. In the old days, we didn't. We just said, oh, "Bummer, I'll just paint over it." And using the mistake brush by taking the brush and adding water to where you made the mistake, and then resaturating it to the point where it's mostly water, and then sponging it up is an invaluable trick when doing any kind of detail painting, even on base coats. The details on these things are so small, they're miniatures, that a trick like that really is
Yeah, I mean,
it's game changing.
I was actually too late. When I turned it around, I realized there was another mistake I missed. And when I did it, and the time it took me to do that, the other one tried, so.
Well, 1 out of 2 is not bad. Yeah, even I made a little mistake there, but don't count your mistakes, folks. Count your successes.
Okay, for a second I worried that I started working on the other side. What was causing this to not work last time?
There was just a little... Yeah, I just did that. And I didn't bring up the pokey tool, so I'll just use some scissors. And
Hope for the best.
yeah, because I've had numerous paint bottles actually have the dropper bottle tip actually explode from too much pressure. Still not working?
Oh. Which I don't know why.
Another trick is you can blow into the bottle.
Maybe this little stuff here though. It's mostly dried up.
careful you don't spill that whole bottle on yourself.
We'll try.
Wow, there was something really massive stuck in there.
What was it?
I think.
When you found it?
Well, I thought it was part of the bottle, but it appears to have been something really, either really massive or.
Really small?
Let me put my glasses on real quick.
Okay.
Yeah, that is part of the shape of the bottle. Look, you see that little weird thing? That's different than.
Is it part of the bottle or not?
Yeah, it is part of the bottle, but there is a big sort of a. I don't know if that's actually blocking it or. It seems to have a completely different sort of tip than other companies. But that should do it. Let me see the bottle. But yeah, it had something really stuck in there. And just in case you guys are wondering, this is our pokey tool when it's not an actual Reaper pokey tool. It's some sort of needle point or crocheting to number 12.
Might have actually wanted to remove the head and not put it on.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because see the area right by the neck?
Oh.
It's very difficult to get to.
I have faith in you. You'll do an excellent job.
Thank you. But I do think that it's physically impossible to get every spot without messing something up.
And sometimes that's,
And by messing something up, I mean getting paint where it's not supposed to be. Yeah, I can't.
I'll take a look at it when we're done. Just go on to what you can
The
paint.
next color, even though I put a bunch of paint on it, so it's almost. Wait, no, this lead. Is this? Did you spray this?
Yes, I did.
All right.
And taped it up so there wouldn't get glue on the connection point. That's my turn to make a
You
mistake.
mean tape? You mean paint?
Yeah, I don't know why I said glue.
So yeah, whenever we're making other ones, make sure to remove, or if you're ever making one, or if you haven't made yours yet.
Yeah, we have 3 more. So
Yeah.
these mistakes that we learn from. I don't know. Do you want to make the other ones other metallics like the silver dragon and the?
I know what one of them is going to be.
What's that?
Blue.
Okay.
If I ever make one, it's going to be blue.
Okay. Well, we have 3 more. And I know you guys probably also know that we've painted a bunch of the Whiz Kids gargantuan dragons, and I don't know what's slated for this year. I did see a black one and Tiamat and Bahamut, I think, but those are the multi-headed and the platinum dragon and platinum and silver. They always look the same to me. Obviously, the shapes of the dragons will be vastly different, and they do look bigger, but that could just be the way they photographed them, to help sell them. Which how often are you actually going to use the platinum dragon, or the multi-headed dragon? Probably not very often as a dungeon master. So those for me can wait. But I am hoping that they put out more than just that in the next couple of months, because we're looking for something else to paint for our Dragon of the Month series. We have most of them picked out, but there's one month coming up that we could use your guys's, suggestions on. That would be is it next month or is it? No, yeah, it's next month. It's not even next month. It's April. I think April is when we would, could use a recommendation and Baskin now because it takes time to order these things. We have something planned for next month. We have something planned for February. But obviously we've painted all but the red dragon from WizKids, and we don't really do the Reaper dragons because they're just crazy priced at metal or inferior in bones, and we don't do the big miniatures with bones.
Yeah.
They just.
We actually do, but
because we have Cinder, we could do that, but I just know that in a year or two, those. The wings will be on the floor. Cthulhu?
Yes.
Yeah, you're right. I don't know when that'll happen, and I'm hoping it will never happen with him, but, I know it probably will. And
sadly, it most
as soon as we notice it, though, I was thinking of really spraying the crap out of it with a clear coat. Maybe that'll prevent it, but I just don't know.
It might. I hope so. I hope it never even comes to that.
Yeah.
Because that would mean that some damage was done.
Yeah.
And we don't want that. But I don't think that will prevent it. Sorry.
Yeah,
Alright, I think I have... I guess I'll do the head. But... Alright. Should these be silver?
That's.
I think I'll do silver, but I'll give the entire thing a soft tone wash.
Okay.
So that it's kind of silver.
You could even use a strong tone like you did with.
It needs a
Poketool.
Yeah. What were you saying?
You could use a really dark tone on the silver, and then go back over it, but or even a gray wash because we do have a gray wash.
No, give it a soft tone so that it's still kind of goldish.
Oh, okay, I see what you're saying. Yeah, that's not a bad idea.
Because I was looking up a few pictures of gold Chinese dragons that aren't just statues or stuff like that, and I noticed a lot of
from the parades or just like fantasy artwork.
Just artwork in general.
Yeah, because those parade ones aren't real.
Yes, I know. In fact, I know that none of them. Well, I'm aware that in fact dragons are not real. Well, shh. What?
Someone out there,
That's true.
Still believes dragons are real.
Technically, there's probably some place that exists where they are.
And Triceratops?
I'm not even going to answer that question.
If you know, you know. Okay, what do you think? Is that better?
Better than I thought.
What do you think, folks?
A lot better than I thought, but that doesn't really say much.
It's still kind of goofy looking, I'll admit. But that's what happens when you try to be diplomatic. Our friend Nathan is actually, I think, in a snowy part of the country right now, so he's seeing snow vehicles, and that's why he recommended blue. And of course Armstrong, he just loves everything yellow. And speaking of Armstrong, when you're watching this, I hope you're feeling better, buddy. And I'm glad that chicken soup worked out for you. My advice would be to stock up and always have about 20 cans of chicken noodle soup, in your cupboards at all time. Pretty much everybody. That's, it's one of the most important canned foods you could ever have in your stockpile or your cupboard or what have you for emergencies. Have you ever actually had chicken noodle soup?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. He just tried tomato soup, grilled cheese sandwiches, and saltine crackers for the very first time, and really liked that. But I don't remember ever actually giving him chicken noodle soup. How you doing over there?
Good?
Yeah. Just a little bit more and then call it a night.
Yeah.
So I want to let this blue dry a little more before I hit it again. And I actually did it again, folks. I poured out the paint that I thought I would use, and as you can see, pretty much I used it. And I love when I do that and guesstimate just right on the amount of paint that I'm going to use. I always err on the side of caution. I'd rather have to keep squeezing it out than to let it, go to waste.
Oh god.
Mistake?
No.
Oh, the hound dog barking at the door.
Yeah. I was worried that
That
might
was-
happen,
yeah.
but it appears to not.
Yeah.
No, never mind.
Yeah, he was busy, so we didn't let him in. And now he probably wants in because he knows, hey, what are you guys doing? I'm lonely.
He knows exactly what we're doing.
I agree with you.
Well, he doesn't know exactly what we're doing, but he knows.
We're doing something, yeah.
And he knows what that something is. He just doesn't understand what it is.
Yeah, it's...
Maybe he does. Maybe you should. Never mind.
Renew his contract for this year?
Huh. Very, very funny.
Yeah, he was asking too much to renew his contract, so we're holding off.
That makes total sense.
Yeah, because,
But I think I'm done for tonight, at least.
All right.
Actually, I'll continue until you finish.
I wouldn't even squirt that out then.
Okay.
I just wanted to play around with the windows, but I really need a different brush. I don't want to have to go over stuff. So put them up front where they can get a nice little gander. And those of you who have seen these series of ours before know that the little guy will finish up the rest of the base coats during the week, and then next Sunday he will be doing washes,
Yes.
and I will be doing washes as well, and then the week after that will be dry brushing, and then it'll be on to the Sunday show-off show.
Yeah.
So from all of us here at the Shadow and Sun Show, I want to wish you guys a great week, especially those of you who have to, go back to school or, go back to work. Your vacations are over. Thanks for playing along. And anything else, bud?
Not really.
All right then. Good night, everybody.
Good night.